Hello, guys. Okay, so we actually coming to you from the Tankwa. We at the Africa Burn Festival. It's a bit windy outside, so we thought it's going to be a perfect opportunity for us to do our recap on our 2 months in Kruger, which we've been promising for quite a while. It's been a month since we left Kruger. Hey? We left Kruger at the end of March. It's the end of April now. Yeah. So it's been a month. And we just thought, we get a lot of people questioning us on Kruger, what it's like, what are the camps like, so we thought that we'd first of all just go through the camps that we went to and tell you what we think of them and what we thought of Kruger, the good and the bad. And then also maybe afterwards just do a comparison, because we've come across a lot of people on our travels that ask us the difference between, say, like Zimbabwe, Zambia, Botswana, Namibia, Mozambique, and South Africa, and the cost and what you get for value of money in that. So we thought we'd just cover that. So we'll cover that at the end. We'll do a bit of a comparison to the other parks that we've been to in Southern Africa. So we always try and enter the park in the south. We normally enter at Malalaan Gate or Crocodile Bridge, but normally Malalaan Gate. It's a great gate to enter from in the south.
Yeah, because also for the ladies, if you haven't managed to get organized and get your grocery shopping, there's an awesome spa in Malalaan.
Yeah, you can do your shopping in Malalaan.
Have everything and stock up, and then go into Kruger. If you're staying for longer periods.
Yeah, not that you see, Donna's being sexist here, because it's not a woman's job to do the shopping. So it's not only about making women happy. Okay, so we enter Malalaan, and we stayed at the Malalaan campsite, which is just inside Malalaan Gate, on the Bachendal Road. It's a small campsite, very nice campsite. It's got like, I think 5 chalets, and then about maybe 10, 15 campsites.
It's quite small.
Yeah, it's neat, very nice and neat. The ablutions are nice, the people were friendly, very well looked after. Some people don't like it because it's got the main road sort of within earshot. It didn't worry us at all, but every now and then you might hear a truck going past or something in the distance, or car. Yeah. But it didn't worry us at all. And you get some good sightings down there. You get some good cat sightings down there as well in that area. Some nice sightings. In fact, we saw cheetah there now when we came out of the park. We stopped off there and we saw cheetah. Yeah.
And I think there's a resident leopard around there, so it's quite often seen.
Yeah. So Malalaan Camp is great. Always a good start or a good end as you leave or enter the park. Then we went up to Marula. Marula is it's a camping campsite, and it's a satellite to Auckland. At Auckland Gate, and it's great. It's lovely. We enjoy it. It's only campers allowed there, so there's no chalets or anything, and it's great. You're on the dry riverbed. I think it's the Timbavati River. It's normally dry, but you get some nice sightings. We had some great sightings there this time. I mean, there were 2 days. We were there for 2 weeks to start with, and 2 of the days we couldn't even get out the gate because the lions, I think it's the Birmingham Pride, had covered
the road.
Yeah, they lay across the whole road, which was awesome. Yeah, and then we moved from there up to.
Well, I was going to say the one thing. I mean, I love Marula, but there's no. We were there when it was really, really hot. So, but there's no swimming pool there. Luckily though, it's just a short drive to Auckland Camp, and they've got a lovely pool there.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But depending again on the time of year, because it was so hot, we tended to try and either get a camp with a pool or have one that is close proximity. You can always go on a drive and end up having a swim and driving back. If you plan your day,
As Donna says, especially during that time, that November, December, January, February, you need a pool.
Even March was hot.
Yeah, the pools were lifesavers. They really were. Yeah, so that's a good point. And then from there we went up to Baluli. Baluli's a favorite camp of ours. It's got no power at all, so you've got to be completely self-sufficient. They do have showers with water, hot water, solar powered, I think. But you've got to have your own power. You've got to be self-sustaining with power. They don't have electricity points or anything like that. But it's a great camp. It really is nice. Again, no swimming pool. It's a satellite camp of Olifants, but Olifants has got a great pool.
Lovely pool, yeah, and also not too far.
Yeah, 10 k's away. Yeah,
we always worked it in our safari drive. Really.
Yeah. And again, all these camps that we've been to are really well looked after. The people are so pleasant. When they greet you there. What is her name at Baluli? Wonderful lady. who sort of runs the camp and opens the gate for you and cleans up the ablution. That, oh my word, I can't believe I can't remember her name, but a wonderful lady. And then from there we went up to Sizi. No, we went up to Laaba. Laaba is a great camp. We love Laaba. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we went from there to Laaba. Laaba is a great camp. It's a full-on camp. So you've got the that's where the elephant museum is. You saw that program we did with the elephant museum. It's got the swimming pool, and it's a great camp. A lot of people, slate Laaba sometimes, saying it's not in good repair. It's old. I mean, the ablutions are old. Everything's old, but it's good
And it's
pleasant.
clean.
It's clean, yeah, and it's manicured, and it's well looked after.
And I think we must just mention, obviously, we're only talking about camping. So we can't talk for
Yeah.
the bungalows or the chalets or the safari tents because we don't know. So just remember, we are just talking about the camping side of things.
Yeah, but the people that we spoke to that were staying at chalets were happy. They loved it.
No, we didn't actually, in those 2 months, we didn't really meet anyone that was unhappy. you know,
Absolutely. Everyone we spoke to was very happy with
which
the condition of
which
Kruger.
was nice to hear. you
Very
know.
nice to hear, that people are enjoying. Because you get these naysayers, and I watch on the groups, on some of these Facebook groups, the Kruger Park groups, and that you always get these negative comments about, oh, Kruger isn't what it used to be, and it's for going to the drain, and it's too expensive, and that's, in my opinion, is absolute nonsense. I think Kruger's looking great. We've been going through it for years and years and years, and it's still great. It's got it, and it's we'll come to the costing of it, and I'll tell you exactly just how cheap it is compared to other parks and to other accommodation that you get anywhere, even in South Africa. It's such great value for money. We love it. And the biggest thing that struck us about Kruger, or for me anyway, was the people. The staff are just so amazing.
the staff are
Whoever,
really good.
listen, if the people from Kruger are listening to this, whoever is in charge of staff training, staff education, human resources, you are doing a wonderful job. Congratulations, every single person, from the cleaners to the staff to
The
everyone
reception,
greets you.
The shops, the camp staff,
They greet you. They ask you how you are. They're
smile.
pleasant.
Yeah,
It's such a pleasure, man. Really, it is. Really. So, these people that have negative things to say, I don't know where they get it from. I really don't. Because as far as I'm concerned, it's not true. No, of course you're going to get incidents. You must remember something. Kruger's a massive corporation, hey? It's massive. I mean, think of running a corporate the size of Kruger. I don't know how many people they employ, but I mean, think of the logistics and that. Of running all that staff, keeping all those staff on the ball. I mean, we run a relatively small business, with nowhere near that amount of staff. And I mean, the hassles that we've had over the years, only, I don't know how they do it, but they do it. So congratulations, they do it well. They look neat, they look tidy, they're pleasant, they're helpful. It's just nice people. Then we went from Laaba. We went up to Sizi. Sizi is a very rustic camp, a satellite camp of Mopani. Also 10k south of Mopani. It's in the bush, and it's wonderful. You get allocated sites there. So they give you a certain allocated site, very private and nice ablutions. Again, no power at all. They've got water, they've got showers, they've got toilets, but you have to provide your own power. But it's a wonderful camp. And Rogers.
For me, one of my favorite camps in Kruger.
Absolutely.
I would say would definitely be in my top 3.
Yeah, if you're
Sizi
into
would be
owls,
one of
Scops
them.
owls and things like that, I mean, that's just such a treat for that, isn't it? And Rogers, got to give Rogers credit. Rogers runs the camp, he does a magnificent job. He comes round every night, he greets you, he asks you if you want to go see the Scops owls. He'll take you to literally within 2 meters of them. And show you, point them out to you. He's wonderful. So Rogers, thank you for that. Always making our visits so pleasant there. Vivian was the lady's name from Baluli. Vivian, what a gem you are. And thank you. Always being friendly and helpful and pleasant. Vivian from Baluli. Okay, and then from there we went up further north. We went up to Shongwedzi. Shongwedzi is a different camp. A lot of people love it. A lot of people love it.
You not so much.
It's just I don't know what it is about it. It's nice. Got a great swimming pool. The shop's
Beautiful
nice.
Swimming pool.
Beautiful
One of the
views.
best. Okay?
One of the better pools. Yeah. No, it's beautiful. You can't fault it. I can't fault it. It's just that I don't know. Hey, I think in the truck and that it's a bit maybe difficult to maneuver between the trees. If it's busy, if it's quiet, it's obviously a pleasure.
Yeah, if it's busy, we'd battle.
But also, I think the ablutions are, in my opinion, again, are like situated in a funny place. Like if you in one of the campsites in the corner, it's a long walk to the ablutions. Whereas all the other camps have ablutions pretty close by to all the thing. Not that Donna cares about ablutions because she only uses the truck, but I do. Yeah, so that's Shengwezi. But again, great. Oh man, we had some good lion sightings at Shengwezi. We had those 2 male lions that you would have seen footage on, and we also had those cubs playing in the river, and of course the elephants. That river, what river is it?
Unbelievable for elephants.
Is it the Shengwezi River? I don't even know if there is a Shengwezi. I don't know.
Be, yeah.
But oh man, the one day we drove out of camp and we turned right over the bridge, and you can get out over the bridge when you go north, and I think we sort of counted eventually about 200 elephant on both sides of the river.
Different herds. Just
it was incredible,
over.
man. Yeah,
Amazing.
And elephants are always awesome to watch. Yeah, so good elephant sightings there. And then from there we went up to one of our favorites, absolute favorites, and that's Punda right up in the north, the most northerly camp. Punda awesome. We always get a perimeter fence if we can, and it overlooks a waterhole. They've got a waterhole there, and they have a floodlight at night, so you can literally sit in camp all day and all night if you're on that perimeter fence and just watch the waterhole, because all the animals, the elephants come in there night and day, the buffalo, zebra, impala, everything. It's really a lovely camp. We love it. We love Punda Maria. And then of course at Punda Maria you've got that beautiful drive to the past the Pufuri picnic site down to Crook's Corner, which is probably one of the most scenic drives I think in Kruger.
Well, for me it's the most beautiful drive. I mean, it's just slightly different landscape, but so green and just beautiful. We try always and get some days at Punda whenever we go to Kruger, because we just love it.
Yeah, we love it. Yeah, look, your cat sightings are maybe not that great as in the south, but when you do get them, you've got them to yourself. There's always good wild dog sightings up there, cheetah sightings. But yeah, cats, the lions in that I think are a bit scarce. I think, rumor goes that they may have a bit of a problem with the poaching up that way. And also the lions going across into Mozambique now that the fences are down, and helping themselves to easy prey, being the locals' goats or something like that. And, understandably the locals can't afford that to happen, so they're taking sort of vengeance on the cats and either trapping them or killing them. Again, that's just sort of rumor and surmising that that's what's happening, but I think it's pretty accurate. Do you blame the community? These lions coming in and taking their goats and their cattle. I don't know, but anyway. All right, and then we came back south again, and we went back down through. We didn't go to Shengwezi again. I think we went to Laaba. Spent a lot of time at Laaba because my daughter and her husband and my grandkids met us there. And then we went from there down to Marula, and then from Marula back into Malalan for one night, and then out the park the next morning. Nice, because you can spend the night there, and as the gates open the next morning, if you've got a long drive like we do when you're driving back to Howick or something like that, you get out of the park nice and early. So yeah, that's good. Okay, so just generally the park, in our opinion, is, I'll probably go out on a limb. A lot of people say, oh, what is your favorite park and what's the best park to go to? What park would you recommend in Southern Africa? And Southern Africa, I'm talking about South Africa, Namibia, Botswana, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Mozambique, I would say, hey? Those parks. What is the best park to go to? Honestly, I don't think I can answer that question, but if I had to make a call, I would probably say Kruger, for the reason that it has everything you need. It's got the commercialism that you might want, if you feel like going and having a nice cappuccino or a cup of coffee, one day. It's got the shops available with good meat and good supplies, with ice always available, firewood and all that. It's got the power, you can plug in if you need power. It's got the views, it's got restaurants if you want restaurants. Swimming pools, big plus. The ablutions are great. All the toilets work. They flush. You have hot water all the time. Compare that to most of the parks. I'm not going to say all of them, but most of the parks up in the other countries. Namibia is great. Namibia, you cannot fault. But again, Namibia, you're not going to get the wildlife sightings that you do in Kruger. Botswana, you're going to get incredible wildlife sightings. But your facilities in the camps are not good. They really are not good. You know, when you go to like Chobe, Maremi, Kwai area, all of that.
Well, they're non-existent, really.
Not non-existent, but they
Oh,
are not good. You know, they are long drops.
the long drops don't even work. Some of them,
Yeah,
so
yeah. You're not
that's
gonna. You know,
possible.
you're invariably not gonna get a decent shower, flushing toilets. So
But
your
the plus,
facilities.
I suppose, yeah, the facilities aren't great, but the plus on that side is it's very wild.
Yeah. No, the locations are wild, and that is awesome.
unfenced. So
Unfenced,
if
which
you're
is
happy
great.
with that, because some people don't like it, but we tend to like it.
Yeah, we like unfenced. We do like unfenced.
But you have to be aware and be careful.
Yes. Yeah,
and,
you've got to be very aware when
you
you're
know,
out in
be
those
stupid.
places.
That's why for me, I think Kgalagadi has such a good mix because you've got again, whatever you want in. Do you want a fenced camp? They've got. Do you want an unfenced camp? They've got. So you can actually do either or both on the same trip. Whereas with Kruger, you've only got fenced camp. And I don't know, it's just my opinion. I really think they could do with literally a wild camp somewhere in Kruger. I think it would be so popular.
I agree. I think they do have. I've heard that they do have, but I think you've got to book it through honorary rangers, and I think it is pretty pricey compared to the other camps. So yeah, I would say that maybe Kruger could look at something like that,
Definitely.
having an unfenced camp where you know you are aware of the dangers, and only people that are aware of the dangers go to places like that. Yeah, I think they could benefit from something like that. Yeah, absolutely. But getting back to your best overall park, it has to be Kruger. Kruger is an absolute gem, in my opinion, an absolute gem. I absolutely love it. I'll never ever get tired of Kruger. I can go back to Kruger. Donna and I spent 2 months there. After a week, I said to Donna, I could quite easily just go straight back to Kruger. I absolutely love Kruger. One of the bigger reasons, and here we get to comparisons. Let's look at costings. Never mind what you're getting for your value for money. Okay, so in Kruger you're getting everything. You're getting your power, you're getting your swimming pools, you're getting your shops, you're getting your restaurants, you're getting your road structures,
Electricity.
you're getting your electricity, you're getting your water, you're getting all of that. Okay, and if you are South African and you have a wild card, I think we've worked out, if you are going to spend more than 7 days, 6 or 7 days in a sand park throughout the country, and there are a lot of them
In a year.
in a year, 6 days a year in any of the sand parks throughout the country. That includes the Kruger National Park and Camp Debu and Kgalagadi and Kruger and all of them. It pays you to have a wild card. You can buy them as a couple, you can buy them singly,
Or family.
or
There's
family.
ones, yeah. So whatever's going to suit you better.
Yeah, and it lasts you a year. And also the nice thing is, you don't have to have it for a full year and then renew it on that anniversary date. If it expires, it doesn't matter. The next time you go into a park, you can renew it, and your year starts from there again, which is nice. So let's just say you have a wild card, and Donna and I are going into Kruger, and we're going to go and spend 2 nights at Lower Sabi, for example. Okay, you don't pay any park fees to get into the park, and your daily your nature conservation fees. You pay no park fees because you've got that wild card. Okay, if you didn't have the wild card, I think you'd pay, I think it's 110 rand for an adult, or 120
It's
rand,
122 rand.
122
for
rand or
adults
something
and about 60 rand for kids
per day.
per day.
Now that day, that lasts you, if you come in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, it lasts you that day. You spend the night. Obviously you pay your accommodation costs, chalet or camping. Camping in the south of the park, I think, is about 420 rand for a campsite for 2 people. That includes your power, your ablutions, your water, everything. 420 rand. Now, anybody who tells me that that's expensive for what you're getting in a Big 5 reserve that is controlled and run like Kruger, yeah, I think you then really need to
Smoking their socks.
Yeah, you smoking your socks. You need to look at yourself, because that to me is exceptionally reasonable.
Yeah. Never mind the fact that you can have up to 6 people on that site.
Yes.
And anyone else joining you, I think it's something like 100.
I think they pay 100 rand per person.
110 rand per person extra.
It's value for money. I don't care what anybody says, that is value for money. But getting back to the park fees, you only pay, so if you come in, you pay the park fees, or your wild card doesn't allow you to pay anything. You spend the night there, and you can leave the next day before the park closes, which I think is like normally 6 o'clock or whatever. So you can spend 24 hours in the park and you only pay one park fee entrance of that 122 Rand. Now, when you go into parks like Moremi, Chobe, and places like that.
I think Botswana and Zambia do that now.
Zambia, Kenya, I think all the Southern African parks that I know of anyway. I might be mistaken, but all the ones that I know of.
Sand parks,
they charge you when you drive in. You then pay that park fees for that day. You spend the night and you pay park fees for the next day when you're driving out as well.
Oh, that park fee only lasts up until midnight, is it? It's
midnight or 6 o'clock the next morning, but you can't leave before 6 o'clock the next morning because the gates aren't open. So you end up paying park fees for today and tomorrow. So that's double your park fees. And the park fees for South Africans, I think they've gone up again. But when we were there, they were 400 Pula for Botswana, which I think is about 550 Rand per day. So that's costing you over 1,000 Rand to go in to the park, spend the night and come out without your camping fees. Your camping fees are probably going to be about another 400 Pula. So you're looking at possibly, for the two of us per person, 400 Pula per person. So you're looking at Donna and I going into a Botswana park like say Moremi or Chobe and spending one night camping at Ihaha Camp or wherever we're going to camp. You're looking at a cost then of 2,000 Rand. My maths might be slightly out, and I'm sure somebody will correct me if I am. But you're looking at 2,000 Rand. Now compare that. When Don and I have got our wild card, we drive into Kruger. We don't pay anything. We spend 420 Rand at a campsite for the two of us, and we leave the next day.
Or even if we pay our park fees, it's still
even if we paid our park fees, we're still in for 600 Rand, 700 Rand at a push compared to 2,000 Rand.
Yeah.
Now, when you're staying for 10 days, that really adds up. We have come across so many people. When we were in the park now, we came across so many, particularly German and Dutch and French people who have camped and done their safaris in Botswana, Zimbabwe, Kenya, and now South Africa. And every single one of them said they will not be going back to the other parks. Kruger is their value for money park. They say that the other parks are outpricing themselves, and I have to agree that they are outpricing. I don't want to disrespect other parks. I love Botswana. We will carry on going to Botswana. We'll carry on going to the Kwai area. I absolutely love it.
But not as often now. It's too expensive, really.
It just becomes prohibitive when it's costing you a lot more than going to Kruger, and Kruger is just such a gem. That's our opinion. It doesn't. There are other people that just say they don't want to do Kruger. They just want to do Botswana or Zambia or whatever. 100%. It's everyone to their own. But this is just putting our perspective out there. Am I right?
Yeah.
What else did we want to talk about?
Just again, depending on which park you go to, depends on what you're looking for. Like we've said before.
Yeah.
You know?
Kruger.
The wild camping. But then again, the wild camping's only for certain people because you've got to have the equipment, you've got to have the vehicle to get there. And also all the other parks, which I think is also a big difference. I mean, you can go to Kruger in a little Korsabaki or whatever.
And a little pup tent. Yeah.
In a little tent, yeah. You can't do that in Botswana and Zambia and that because your car won't get there unless you've got a 4x4. Unless you've got equipment that you've got fridges and freezers that you can take all your food and keep everything cold and, you know, or a trailer or...
But again, like you brought up in the previous one, the questions and answers episode that we did, is that if you're going away for, let's just say, like 2 months like we did, you're going to be very hard pressed to carry your food for 2 months into a park, like let's say in Botswana or Zambia or wherever, and without having to replenish, whereas you can do it in Kruger because of the shops and the infrastructure. But anyway, yeah, so the pros and cons of Kruger. As far as I'm concerned, it's just pro. I honestly cannot fault them, except maybe for one thing, and that is, and I might be talking out of turn here, and I don't want to get slated for it because I don't want to be negative and everything, and I'm sure I've heard that there's an answer to this, but I find that the vast majority of gravel roads, sand roads, are deteriorating at quite a rate, and I did not see any graders or any equipment or people looking at
first time,
fixing
really.
them or working them. Probably for the first time I've ever been to Kruger. Now, I just read somewhere the other day on social media that it's time for a new tender and a new contract, and they are going to be putting a new company in place to tender or to contract to do those sand roads. And I hope it's true. I hope it's true, because it doesn't matter what vehicle you have. Nobody likes a corrugated road. I don't care who you are. You can have a truck like ours, you can have a Land Cruiser, you can have a Unimog. Nobody likes corrugated roads. And corrugated roads are corrugated because they are not being maintained.
But at the same time, you're saying that you're moaning about Kruger, but yo, same as Kgalagadi was shocking when we went up there. Botswana,
Oh my word!
getting there.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't even
No, you're right.
compare.
But again, you know, you don't.
Zambia, getting to Lua Plains, some of those roads were
Yeah.
a nightmare.
Yeah. But saying that, you know, Kruger's normally their sand roads and gravel roads are normally in good repair. So I hope it's just a little bit of a dent, and maybe we were there at the wrong time. I don't know, but hopefully that does come right. But that, I think, is probably the only thing. And I mean, if that's my only bugbear about Kruger, then you know, what am I even
much,
worrying
yeah.
about? Yeah. But generally, we love it. We'll be back time and time again. I cannot fault it. You know, if anybody does, like, we get a lot of questions from people on social media asking us about things like, you know, where are the best camps to stay at in Kruger? Again, it's just completely what you like. But feel free to message us, and I mean, we'll give you our opinion and our advice. You know, if you're unsure, I know a lot of overseas people watch our YouTube and our social media, and they want to come out on a South African safari, but they're just a little bit unsure. Believe me, it is the easiest thing you will do.
Yeah.
You'll get on a plane in Europe, you'll land at Johannesburg Airport. You either pick up a rental car there and drive 4 or 5
Kruger.
hours to Kruger, an easy drive. Don't let anybody tell you it's a bad, dangerous drive. It's not. Or you can fly from Joburg into Skakuza, right into the park, and they've got an Avis rental car there, and you can rent a vehicle there, and you can drive around. Like Donna says, you can drive around in one of the tiniest little cars possible, the little Hyundai i10, because the roads do allow it. So, yeah, if you're thinking about it and you're unsure, message us and ask us our opinions, and we'll help you and give you advice. Yeah, we don't want to take too much of your time. Thanks for listening. We posted just before this, yesterday we managed to get some Wi-Fi, and we downloaded our first Tankwa series, episode of our Tankwa series. We're now at Africa Burn, and let me tell you something, it is an eye-opener. You've got some crazy footage coming out on our next Tankwa episode, so be ready for that. If you want to see Donna in a little pink tutu, get ready for that. Okay, guys, thanks so much, man. Thanks for following. Send us messages, send us likes, send us thumbs up. We love hearing from you guys. Send us messages. Tell us if it's a cuck video. Tell us if it's a good video. Tell us what you enjoy, what you don't enjoy. Just be nice about it.